Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do a quick live today before I started my full day and talk about a couple things. Bear with me. All right. So I wanted to just get on this morning because I was feeling good this morning, and I wanted to get on and just talk to you about. People have asked so many times, how did I get started on social media? How did I get started, being consistent doing this? And so I wanted to share that with you. That's what this is about. There's, of course, some good tidbits to help you through your day, but I wanted to share how I got started and what that looked like. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is how I started. This is a pep talk. As you can see, I wrote this. This is a pep talk book that I wrote. I used to have a journal store on Amazon, and so peace and love to you as well. And so I had written all these pep talks. And so when I said I wanted to get on social media, I knew that I had to be consistent. One of the things, if you want to grow anything in your life, you want to grow your business, you want to grow better health, you want to grow better relationship, you want to grow thrive, you want to thrive, you got to be consistent. And so my first 30 days, after I'd played around on social media, my first 30 days, I said, I want to be consistent, which meant I want to post a video every day for at least 30 days. And I'm going to give you some tips about what it means to be consistent. But I wanted to share with you what I actually did. And so I'm looking down at my paper because I want to tell you how I define consistent. Consistent is in agreement with something. To be consistent is to be in agreement with something. And so I decided that I was in agreement with my vision of success for my life. I had a vision of success for my life, and I asked myself a quality question: in what ways can I position myself to be in agreement with my vision of success? See, when we decide that we need to be more consistent, we make it so rigid. Oh, I got to do this every day. I got to stop playing around. We start to beat ourselves up. We start acting like a bully. I gotta do this. I gotta be on target. I gotta be on point. I can't play no more. I can't watch TV no more. We start talking about all the things we can't do, what we gotta cut out. And these things are maybe joyous to us. But I'm encouraging you a different definition, a different way of looking at being consistent. Every adult in here knows that to be consistent is a measure of success, or how you reach that level of success is to be more consistent. But we also know there's a resistance to being consistent. Just as a quick measure, hopefully not, I know it's 8 o'clock, so some of y'all might be driving, but just as a quick measure, how many people feel like they need to do some work on being consistent? Just put a Y in there. Let me see if I can get 5 Ys that you need to do more work on being consistent. Because we know that is the path to success, to be more consistent. So how many people feel like they need to? Yes, okay, yes, we got a couple. Yes, to be more consistent. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Don't forget to drink your water in the morning. Let me drink a little water. Great. So I know I'm talking to people. I know that in this space of talking about being consistent, I'm talking to people that could benefit from this. So to be more consistent. Now, again, I know the definition of consistent. We know is, do the same thing every day or do that. But I'm encouraging a different way of looking at it. And so my way of looking at it, I wrote down the definition of consistent: in agreement with something. If I agree with something, if I agree with something, it's a lot easier for me to ride with it. If I think I need to understand time and now more. Okay, cool. So listen, if I agree with something, I'm more agreeable to it. I don't have a lot of resistance. I agree with it, right? So I ask myself, in what ways can I agree with my vision of success? So think about this for a moment. If you've redefined consistent as in agreement with something, and you say, well, I want to be in agreement with my vision of success. I want to be in agreement with my vision of success. And so whatever success looks like for you, maybe it's reaching, 100,000 on social media. Maybe it's reaching 100,000 in your passive income streams. Maybe whatever your vision or definition of success, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, in what ways can I become in agreement with it? It's so powerful. It's such a simple thing. Instead of, I got to be more consistent. I have to do this. I have to do this. How can I agree with my vision of success? In what ways? What thoughts would I think if I agreed with the success? What words would I speak if I agreed with my vision of success? What actions would I take? How would I show up for me each and every day if I was in agreement with my vision of success? Quality questions. Somebody's throwing the fire in the hundreds. Yes. In what ways would I show up if I was in agreement with my vision of success? You see, it's so interesting. Some of us have a vision of what we want success to be for us, but we don't even agree with it. The evidence of lack of agreement is we fight ourselves about it. We say we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then we don't do it. Or we think I don't know if I can have this. Get in agreement. Get in agreement with your vision of success. Agree with it. Agree with it with your words. I agree that vision of success suits me. Agree in your thoughts. I think that I have the ability, the wherewithal, the time, the space, the energy to walk in the direction of that which I desire. A great way to look at it. Yes. Speak it. Take action on it. And then this is the action part, the question you ask yourself. In what ways can I be more in agreement with my vision of success? I couldn't read that. I agree that my degree of success. Yes, I love that. I agree that my degree of success fits me. It suits me. It's perfect for me. You see, I'm telling you, I'm writing this workbook, very simple workbook that has a list of words and different definitions, because the definitions that we've been using for the words that we use have also been keeping us stuck and rendering us helpless and hopeless or high in resistance. And something so simple as consistent. Sometimes when you say the word consistent, people choke up. I got to work on that. Or I need to be more consistent. And it feels heavy. I need to be more consistent. What if you just need to agree more with your definition of success? Because again, I looked up the definition of consistent. And one of the definitions is in agreement with something. So it doesn't feel as heavy when you say, I allow myself, I welcome the agreement with my vision of success. And then how can I be more agreeable to my vision of success? I asked myself that question this morning, and you know what the answer was? This. I ended my 7 a.m. call early. My coaching call ended early, and I said, well, that time was set aside for coaching. So you gonna go back to sleep, or you want to get on here and coach? Which one was more agreeable with my vision of success? You see, I didn't have resistance to come on here. Isn't that powerful? I'm telling y'all, the way that you word things, the way that you shift how you word things and experience things, because it's all thinking issues. When you change the way you think about things, the things you think about change. And so I thought about that. I hope y'all are getting that. Give me some hearts if y'all are getting that. I'm telling you, this kind of stuff is amazing because it shifts how you process things. It shifts how you process things. If you change the word consistent, we all know it's important to success. It's critical to success. But if we change the word consistent, keep the word, but change the definition, then we easily lean more into it with low resistance, which means if we have low resistance, we have high endurance. Low resistance often means high endurance for it. Happy birthday, Lindsay. Very happy birthday. I hope you get cake wasted and love wasted and everything. Thank you, Nova. I appreciate that. And so again, if we change the wording for consistent as in agreement with something, then we say, how can I get more in agreement with my vision of success? That's the same thing of saying, I got to be more consistent, but the energy feels different. How can I get more how can I become more in agreement with my vision of success? See, that's a quality question. And y'all know the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask yourself. See, somebody say, yes, consistency is my Achilles, always on time. I hope this shifts it. Instead of it being your Achilles heel, I hope, and the thorn in your side, I hope it ends up becoming the love of your life. I hope you end up hearing this and processing consistent in a way that you show up for yourself and for your vision of success with ease and joy and low resistance. The fear, but instead you resist it. How do you acknowledge? We'll get into that. But I want you to stay with me for a moment as far as consistent, because I'm going to tell you something. If you process consistent in such a way, you recognize that fears are going to present themselves. But again, you can change the definition of fear, and you don't have to resist fear, because when you resist something, what resists persists. Instead of resisting, lean into it. Ask yourself the same question. How can I move forward even with fear? Again, you just got to ask yourself quality questions. Most of the time when an emotion shows up that's counter to what we want to experience, it becomes our stop sign. Oh, I guess I can't. And I'm telling you, by asking yourself quality questions, you invite forward progress anyway and anyhow. Somebody say anyway and anyhow. Anyway and anyhow. When you ask yourself quality questions, you invite forward progress. When you ask yourself quality questions, you invite forward progress. And guess what happens with forward progress? You get there further faster. I was trying to find something that I wanted to share with y'all. Anyway and anyhow. Yes, anyway and anyhow. We let the stop sign. Fear is not a stop sign. Fear is something, but we assign the meaning to it. So again, I wanted to just kind of tell you how I started. And so year and a half ago, I'd written this book. A few years ago, I wrote this book. It's just a bunch of pep talks. And so each day is a different pep talk, right? And as you see, it's a pep talk journal, right? So it has, words and whatnot. And so I asked myself, I said, okay, I want to be on social media. I want to teach on social media. I'm a teacher at heart, but I don't know what I was going to teach. I had a lot of information, a lot of stuff. And I said, here's the thing. And I'm going to see if I can flip this so you can see something I want to show y'all. All right. So I asked myself, okay, 5 ways to be more consistent. First off, you got to decide to. Then you got to, I can't read my writing. Let me see what that says. Oh, then you got to have a passionate finish line to work on. Have a clear, passionate finish line to work on. Then you got to make it as easy as possible. This, for me, made it as easy as possible. Every day, somebody laughed, I couldn't read my writing. Yeah, I get like that sometimes. I probably wrote this at 5 o'clock this morning. For me, what I did was I said, I'm going to go live for 30 days. I'm just going to read one of my pep talks every day. Made it simple. Simple. So make it as easy as possible. That's why you see me in my scarf and my glasses. That's easy as possible. Wrap my hair up, put a t-shirt on, put my scarf on. I don't have to do all this extra stuff that I know I'm not going to do every day. Make it easy as possible. And then you have again, I can't read my writing. Oh, then you have a pre-quit story. You need to know, let me turn this around. Y'all need to know that the quit spirit is going to present itself. It's just nature. We're going to be into something. There's some old unresolved trauma, self-sabotage, those kind of things. My own works to move myself forward. Yes, there's something that's going to come up. So if you have a pre-quit story, it's just, you get your index card and you write your pre-quit story. So then when quit comes up, you're like, hey, quit. Hey, quit spirit. I knew you was going to come, but I got something for you. See, again, people, when we're working on something and then something comes up that kind of makes us want to quit or as we like to call it, self-sabotage, we just be like, oh, see, I was doing good and then I just stopped. And then that becomes the end of it. No, anticipate it. Anticipate that it might show up. And if you have decided that you have a clarity-rich finish line, you know where you want to end up, have a pre-quit story. Have a pre-quit story. So then when it comes up, you're not surprised. You're like, oh, hey, quit. I knew you was coming, and it's okay. That doesn't mean that I'm sabotaging myself. That doesn't mean that I'm a failure. That doesn't mean that I'm less than. That doesn't mean that I really don't want this. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. It only means what you decide that it means. I believe that it means I'm human like everybody else. I'm chartering into new territory, something unknown. And sometimes when we're in the space of unknown, we get a little bit afraid. So part of my pre-quit story is I'm safe. As I evolve into the next levels of my life, I'm safe. That's part of my pre-quit story. And I say, I know what this is. There's a piece of me that's wanting to quit because there's this aspect of me that's not quite feeling safe. This is out of the comfort zone. This is unusual. This is, the first time I had a video that had 100,000 views, I almost quit social media. 100,000. All I could think about is 100,000 people looked at this. 100,000 people. I thought that's 200,000 eyes. 400,000 if they all wore glasses. And I was like, oh no. And it frightened me. And then the first time I had a 1 million view video, I said 1 million people, 1 million people from Dubai to Tallahassee, to Texas, to the Netherlands, to Bahamas, to places to Moscow, to places I had never even seen, some place I had never even heard of. And I was like, oh no, I don't know. Had a quit story ready. You know what my quit story was for that? It was 4 words. When I first went viral, I got terrified. And I already knew ahead of time, because I kind of thought that my goal isn't to go viral. My goal is to have impact. And when you have impact, sometimes it causes you to go viral. And so I had a quit story ready, because I was ready to quit. I was like, 1 million people looking at this, looking at these moles, they going to say something, they going to do. I said, So I allowed myself I observed myself, allowed myself to think and feel. And then I hit myself with the quit story, the 4-word quit story. You know what it was? You asked for this. I had it wrote on an index card. When I was getting 100 views, I'd wrote my quit story, because I knew that if I showed up, if I was in agreement with my vision of success, at some point, something I said was going to resonate, and it was going to reach a lot of people. And I was a little bit frightened of this idea of going viral. I was a little frightened by it. So when I had 10 followers and my views were 100, I wrote a quit story, because if I said, I believe I provide value, I believe I can help people, and I believe if I show up for myself and get agreements with my vision of success, I probably will be viral. I don't know. I was just saying it. But I wrote on a card, you asked for this. And so the day I got up and I saw that, and I saw it going up, and that thing hit 100,000, and then the other one hit a million, and I started getting scared, and I was like, I don't know, I need to pull back. Maybe I should pull back. Got my card out. See, I had a pre-quit story before I quit. A pre-quit story before I quit, because I knew the story of what was going to frighten me. When I had 100 views, I had a story to tell myself for when I hit 1 million. Somebody better get that. When I averaged 100 views, I had a story that I was going to tell myself when I reached 1 million, because I knew the number 1 million was going to frighten me a little bit. That's 1 million people looking at me. That's 1 million people I never met looking at me. And I asked myself then, what would I need to hear? What is it that I would need to hear in that moment so that I would not quit, so that I would not sabotage myself back to mediocrity? I asked myself a quality question that said, what is it that I'll need to hear in that moment so that I will not pull back what God has given me? I will give myself permission to continue to rise. You asked for this. And I sat with it and I said, I did ask for this. Something in me, I was in agreement with my vision of success. I was in agreement with my vision of success. I didn't say, oh, I was consistent. Again, the definition of consistent, to be in agreements with something. Get in agreement with your vision of success. Have a pre-quit story. So when the quit comes, you pull out the card and you read it. That's just enough pause. Just enough pause to continue forward. And then the last thing is, let me see if I can read my writing. Oh, keep track and reward yourself often. What's your progress? So when you make progress, I have this thing on Facebook that I would post because, you know, Facebook is mostly my friends and family, people that I've known since high school and those things. And so once I had this goal, to reach 10,000 Instagram followers. And so once I hit about 9,000, I start posting daily on my Facebook. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to the 10,000. And, you know, friends and family were all excited. So every time I was allowing their enthusiasm to give me my reward. And so that was my measure of success. Even my friends were reaching out. How close are you? You know, and then it also, in a way, gave them permission to go pursue theirs as well. So I'll say these quickly, 5 things, 5 ways to be consistent. Decide to have a clear, passionate finish line that you're working towards. Make it easy as possible. Develop a routine, a system, scarf, hair pulled, glasses, t-shirt, ready to talk. That's my uniform. Have a pre-quit story. I think y'all like that pre-quit story. Yes. Somebody got it. The quality of your life is determined by your decision to prioritize forward progress. I love it. And then keep track of your rewards and reward yourself often. Reward yourself often. So again, consistent means in agreement with something. Get in agreement with your vision of success. Again, you can grab any book. This was the book I grabbed. If you want to be more consistent, for anybody, if you're social media content, whatever it is that you want to do, find an easy way to get in agreement with your vision of success, and then show up for a set time period. Like for me, it was 30 days. So for 30 days, I got in front of that camera and I read one of my pep talks. And I'll read you one because they're so simple. Let me see if I see a good one So this one is called "It Took You There Good." I'm just going to quickly read it. This is a pep talk that I wrote. It says, fear is a vehicle that transports the passenger to a place so bad that you begin to know that it's not a place you'd ever want to revisit. Even the thought of it alters your behavior. It took you there good. Let fear take you to a place you'd never want to visit again, because fear is just a state of mind. A known acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear represents misguided thoughts about an unpleasant future. Fear takes you there good. Remember the place next time fear attempts to halt your progress. You have a home among greats, the champions, the powerful. Fear took you to a place not to keep you down, but to scare the champion out of you. It don't work. It took you there good. It gave you the added to brush off your shoulders, to stand tall and soar. Fear took you there good. Simple. It's a pep talk I wrote. Anybody want this? Let me show you what it is. I can't do it. I don't have my journal store anymore on Amazon, but this was a journal, a self-publishing journal, and it's 30 pep talks. I use this as a journal to boost your self-esteem. You read yourself a pep talk every day, and then you kind of journal about your experience. Okay, I see people wanting it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make it available. It's not gonna be in this book format. It's in a PDF now. But yeah, I'll make it available. It's 30 pep talks. Y'all want it? I want it. Y'all want to read? Y'all want me to read another one while I'm on here? If you do, just say yes. Let me see if I can find a good one. All right. I want your pep talk book. Okay, I'm a bad. I love y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell y'all something about me. I appreciate my followers. I'm going to make sure I get everybody this pep talk. And it's just a simple, it's 30 days, but I'm going to read another one. Let me see if this is one that I really like. Yeah. This one is called, It's Turning Around for Me. Y'all know if you don't, there's a gospel song called It's Turning Around for Me. So I'll read it to you. If you have the audacity to speak this during the storm, when the roof just flew off and the waters are rising well above your knees, it's turning around for me. If you have the gall, the boldness, the faith, the willingness to speak it, to spiritually I see it, to conjure up the feelings of it, it's turning around for me. If you choose to do that, then what can stop you? Not a thing, because you have tapped into the mighty power of the untamed tongue. When you say it with tenacity, with veracity, with confidence, and the no nonsense that this thing is turning around for me, you set in motion the very conditions that in due time will turn around the very thing that thought it had you down for the count. As long as you can speak a thing, you still have a dog in the fight. 4 powerful words that shake the atmosphere when spoken with faith. Indeed, speak it with me now. Turning around for me. Let me tell you something. If that's not a pre-quit mantra, we need an audio book. Yes. Yeah, I need to record these. That's actually what I need to do. I need to record these. Y'all, I get excited about these. It's so funny because my spouse is in there working from home and I'm trying to be quiet because I'm not in the car. But I heard the little knock, like I heard the little knock that said, "Hey, you're too loud." So I hear you, dear. I'm sorry. See, that's why I go in the car. I get loud and the whole house hears me. But y'all get what I'm saying. I get excited about it. It's turning around for me. It's turning around for you. When you learn how to use this power of your tongue to say things. Again, pre-quit game plan. When you get you a simple index card, because you know it's coming, you start something new. It's just human nature. Because people say, well, how do I stop the quit from coming up? Man, don't waste your time on that. Instead of trying to figure out how to stop it, figure out how to prevent it from happening, figure out how when it comes, it becomes nothing. That's how you do it. Yes, thank you. Yes. All right, yeah, I may have to do that. I have to get on here and see how I can do a video or an audio of this. Let me see if there's one more. Y'all got me smiling because I want to see if I can give y'all one more. One more before I go. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I'm going to give y'all one more. This one is called Bought and Paid For. Again, this is just pep talks that I wrote a long time ago. And I wrote it as a journal. Here's the thing. I wrote this, I think it's 30 pep talks here as a 30-day challenge. And I said every day, for me, I'm going to read my pep talk. And then I'm going to use it as a filter on how I experience the day. So I get up in the morning, I read that pep talk, and then I journal throughout the day based on that pep talk. And so I use this as a way to build my own confidence. And so when I started on social media, I used this for 30 days to say that was my easy way of creating videos every day. So I'm gonna read this one more pep talk. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I like this one. I like this one. All right. This is called Bought and Paid For. James Baldwin said, "Our crown has already been bought and paid for. All we have to do is wear it. The worth we seek has already been bought and paid for. The love we seek has already been bought and paid for. The joy that we seek has already been bought and paid for. We need only wear it. Wear your crown, pick it up, put it on, and wear it with confidence. Recognize that you have nothing to prove to anyone, even yourself, because just the fact that you're here in this moment, right here, right now, means you're worthy. There's no need to perform for pay, for love, for acceptance, and for attention. Simply give it to yourself. Wake up each morning, look in the mirror at your gorgeous self, smile and see the crown that is yours for the wearing. It's already been bought and paid for. Wear your crown. It's already been bought and paid for. Some of us are still performing, trying to get love and trying to get worthiness. We make it transactional instead of recognizing and realizing it's already been bought and paid for by the grace of humanity. By the fact that we are human, we're already worthy. And when you wake up in the morning knowing that it's bought and paid for, you need only put it on. And recognize no one has the capacity, ability to take it off of you. Y'all got me fired up today. So I think I heard people say they want this Pep Talk book. And tearing up now. Stop performing. Yeah, stop. Ooh, I love that. Stop performing for your birthright. Just lean into it. Conscious awareness of the unconditional connection with divinity. Stop performing for your birthright. Somebody said that. I love that. So yeah, I'm going to tell y'all just a simple little confidence boost. Read a pep talk every day. Simple. I got a whole slew of them. Read a pep talk every day. Get in the space of that. Get up 5 minutes early. Read the pep talk. Inhabit the feeling of it. And then go on about your day. Simple. We don't have to make this harder than what it is. We don't have to make this harder. I'm looking at this because I hadn't read these in years, and I get that same encouragement and excitement as I read these. When will it be available for us? Shoot, I got it on PDF. I'll make it available now. I just need to figure out how can I this is the tech part of me. I need to figure out, maybe I'll just send it to my email list. That's what I'll do. Hopefully all y'all are on my email list. That's what I'll do. I'll just send it out to the email list. So make sure you're on my email list. Right now I have, one more please. Okay, bet. Then you ain't got to tell me nothing. I enjoy it. But yeah, I'll send it out on the email list today. Today I'll send it out. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. All right, let me see. I'll say this one. This is one of my favorites because I'm a baseball fan. How do we get on the email list? The link is in my bio. So we should get it. Look at somebody putting a time frame on me. So we should get an email by end of day. Let me tell y'all something. I love a time frame. I love a deadline. Yes. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. I appreciate that. Y'all better keep me on my toes. Yeah, but the link is in my bio to get on the email list. Subscribers, I think if you're a subscriber to this page, you should already be on the email list. A paid subscriber, that is. But I'm going to make this available to everybody. All right, so let me see. Let me see one here. Oh, this is perfect because it has the word consistent in it. Okay, I'm going to call, this one is, I'm a winner, baby. Woohoo, y'all. Just FYI, it's 85 of y'all. I hope all y'all know y'all are winners. Period. Because you came in as a winner. All right. I'm a winner, baby. I wake up each morning singing this song that represents the soundtrack of my life. I'm a winner, baby. All I do is win, no matter what. Life throws curveballs at me, and I still knock it out the park, just like Reggie Jackson. Why? Reggie Jackson ended his career in the elite 500 home run club. 14th all time with 563 home runs. And he's also number one all time at strikeouts with 2,597. That means nearly out of his 10,000 at bats, he struck out. He lost. He struck out 1 out of every 4 at bats. Yet he's considered one of the greatest of all time. That's why I'm a winner, baby. Because I know it's not necessary to knock it out the park every time at bat, but to be consistent in what I do, how I do it, and why I do it. I'm a consistent being. And because I live my life consistently being greater, each at bat, whether it's a home run or a strikeout, I'm a winner, baby. We're spending too much time trying to hit home runs instead of recognizing that if we show up in agreement with the success, with our vision of success, and recognize that sometimes we are going to strike out, sometimes we are going to miss, sometimes we are going to fail. But if we show up in the space of being consistent, which means in agreement with the vision that we have for our life, and every day we ask ourselves a question, how can I be in more agreement with the vision I have for my life? We move ourselves forward. We become one of the great ones. One of the great ones. Reggie Jackson, I love baseball, which is why I had that in there. Great ones. He's considered one of the great ones. Yet every time, out of the 10,000, every time, 1 out of 4 times he failed. 1 out of 4 times at bat he failed, yet he's considered one of the great ones. He's Mr. October. If anybody knows anything about baseball. Mr. October. But yet every 1 in 4 times he quote unquote failed. And we're looking at one failure that we had in our lives and calling our life a failure. Telling ourselves, I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself because the last time I didn't do this. Instead of recognizing the last time was just one of the times. And as long as you're breathing and your heart is beating, you have many times to go. So you don't have to give that moment momentum. I'm a winner, baby. You're a winner, baby. When you operate in that space and you make the decision to be in agreement with your vision of success, you wake up every day asking yourself, how can I be in more agreement with what I call success for my life? And you invite divinity to give you the answers. What you focus on. Hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. It's 85 of y'all. I hope y'all are all subscribers, and I hope y'all are all on my mail list. So I'm going to send this out. As somebody said, somebody asked Auntie Coach for a time frame by end of day. It's going to be in a PDF again because I don't have the ability to print it like this, but I'm going to send it out. It's 30 pep talks. I think it's more than that, actually. Might be 35. But anyway, it's pep talks. You can read them. And I'm also going to check and see how I can read them on audio and create an audio. Would anybody want an audio? Maybe 30 days of pep talks one per day. Would you want 30 days of me reading those pep talks that you can download and listen to? You can start the morning with a pep talk. About to get on that list. I just joined. Awesome. Yeah. I think that's what it was, 30 days, because I wanted to experience a space of confidence. And I knew for me, confidence meant not external, internal. I needed to rewire how I thought about myself. And it just makes perfect sense to give myself that. Anyway, power of pep talks. All right, that's all I got today. I don't know. Like I said, my 7 o'clock ended early. And I was like, let me get on here. Can you make a recording for the pep talk? Yeah, I can. Audible or Spotify or Apple. Okay, perfect. I'll do it. I'll find out how I could do it, and I'll do it. And let me tell y'all, use a PDF to audio app. Okay, somebody talking, somebody sharing with me knowledge. Let me tell y'all a quick story about this. I'm in here with 80 people, and many of y'all has said, yes, you want to hear it in audio, right? Or, most of you. What list? It's just my email list. I'm going to send out this in a PDF. It's 30 pep talks. I'm going to send it out to anybody that's on my email list. That'll be something I send out today. And I'll share it. Maybe I'll link this live. But let me show you something. When I was some of you may have heard the story, but it's apropos to what we're talking about today. When I was in the 6th grade, we had to do a book report, and this is back in the 80s. And so we had those big, those fat tape recorders with the tape. When it mess up, you got to stick your pen in there because it's literally tape. Some of y'all might not know that I'm 50, approaching 51 in a few weeks. And so anyway, we had to record ourselves. And so I recorded myself. We had to do a book report on something. And then the teacher would play, it's like a 5-minute book report. And so then she played each one of them, and then, we talk about it. And so when it came to mine, as you all may can tell, I don't have a super feminine voice. Certainly not a masculine voice, but I'm more in between. And so, and I've had this voice since I was a kid. And so anyway, when the teacher got the tapes, I know the tapes. My mom had a Walkman. Your mama had a Walkman and I had a Walkman. It's funny. And so that's why I say Auntie Coach, because I'm probably a lot older than a lot of y'all. And so anyway, the teacher gathered all the tapes and she played them one by one. And when mine came on, I don't know, maybe I didn't have great recording, or maybe it was just my voice. But she let it go for 30 seconds, and she paused and she was like, oh my God, what a terrible voice. Who is that? And all the class is laughing, right? And of course I shrink down. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I researched, listen, this is before Google. This is when it was encyclopedia. So I don't remember what the subject was, but I remember I used different versions of the encyclopedia. I wrote, I researched, I poured my heart into this. I wrote out my little outline. I got to put my mouth really close to the tape so I could enunciate with clarity. I remember, how you could record over the tape. I remember recording over it. And I remember I put my heart and soul. And then the teacher, and of course, I have a ambiguous voice, if you will. And so I remember this. And she said, oh my God, what a horror. And maybe she was having a bad day. Hey, maybe, I always say this now, maybe I sounded like her ex-husband and she was mad at him. I don't know. But she said, what a horrible voice. Who is that? And I cowered down, and nobody knew it was me, because we didn't put our name on it. And I let that moment, that was a moment, right? 6th grade. I don't know. Let's just say I was 11. I let that moment become a trauma and a memory for me that in that moment, I made an agreement. Your voice is useless, worthless. Nobody wants to hear it. Stop talking, be quiet, be seen, not heard. In that moment, I created a whole series of limiting beliefs in that moment. And that carried me all the way from the 6th grade to college. When I went to college, I was a finance major. And one of the things we had to do was, finance majors, we had to, at that time, we had to take public speaking. And I took it because I still had that soundtrack running. I took public speaking my freshman year and failed out. Failed out before I could do the first speech. Why? Because I heard that. And I didn't want to experience the pain that I experienced then. I didn't have the understanding at 17 that was a moment. I didn't understand it. That was her perception. My childhood brain could only process that as absolutes. This will always happen when you talk. Nobody wants to hear you. Your voice is terrible. Shut up. And that was my soundtrack. And so when I went to college, I flunked out of that. I ended up flunking out of college. I ended up graduating eventually. But every time I came back to college, there was public speaking. And then I flunked it again. It took me till my senior year, and it was the last class, and they were like, listen, you got the finance down pat. You got the econ down pat. You got an excellent GPA. You not getting your degree until you take public speaking. Because I'd hoped, it took me 10 years to graduate because I kept flunking out. And so by this time, I'd spoken with somebody and processed it and understood. Again, by this time, I'm in my 20s. And I still had limiting beliefs, but I recognized, again, when I said to be consistent, number 3, I said, no, I'm sorry. Number 2, you have an active finish line. You have to have a passionate finish line. I knew I had to get that degree, and the path to get that degree had to go through public speaking. So I had to face my fear and make the decision that you're gonna let your whole collegiate career end because you can't pass public speaking, or you're gonna get your butt in here and do those 4 speeches. And let me tell you, that first one, I was sweating profusely. Even the teacher was like, you okay? You need to take a pause. I mean, sweating. Second time, I again felt the fear and did it anyway. Second time, I was sweating profusely, arms just wet, face wet, hair stuck to my face because it's wet. Third time, sweating not as much. And then the fourth time, of course, I completed it, passed the test, and went on, obviously, and graduated. And then when I got my MBA, of course, we had to get in front of our cohorts, our people, and do reports as though we're talking to shareholders. But by this time, I'd processed what that meant, and I went back and I saw that memory, and I looked at it from the adult perspective. I processed it and lived it through the kid perspective. Now I looked at it through the adult perspective. And by this time, I had to get that MBA. Again, I had a strong finish line. And so then when I would talk and speak, because our job was to convince people to purchase shares in our company or convince them that we were the company to handle their finances. And so you got to go in with an aggression and with confidence. And I remember the first presentation I did, my professor pulled me to the side, and he said, I know that this was for fictitious. I mean, in other words, I know you're not selling anything. But he said, I was ready to open my wallet, open my 401k, open everything I had and hand it to you. He said, you have a voice, ma'am. He told me, I remember this. He said, you have a voice. God gave you. So he said, I don't even really supposed to be talking about God. He said, but God gave you something. But here's the cool thing about this. I want y'all to know. I appreciated his words, but I didn't take it personal. Because just like the teacher in the 6th grade, that was her opinion. This was his opinion. It was an opinion that I appreciated and enjoyed. But by this time, I decided that I'm the decider of what my voice is. I'm the decider, you see. And I thanked him. Don't get me wrong. I said, thank you for that. And I even told him the story of what happened in the 6th grade. I thanked him, but I didn't take it personal. Because this time I recognized I don't take somebody else's opinion and let it become my fact. I don't let somebody else's opinion of me become my fact, good or bad. And it shifted my life. And so I've said that whole story to come to this moment of an arc of 87 people in here on a Thursday morning hearing me speak. And saying, I want to hear the verbal pep talks. When you decide that what was told to you as a child, you only had a reasoning as a child. You only had that reasoning. And so when you recognize that that was their opinion, that teacher probably didn't even realize what she was doing. I may have sounded like her ex-husband, or I might have sounded like her disrespectful child or somebody. I have no idea. My voice probably was a trigger for her from something that had nothing to do with me. But as a child, all I could do was make it about me because that was the limiting space of how we think as children. But when I was a child, I spoke as a child and I thought as a child and I reasoned as a child. But guess what, y'all? When I became an adult, I put away childish things. Put away childish things. No opinion that's been placed on you is your fact. That's a moment that you can release. You don't have to give it momentum. Even if you've given it momentum all this time, you can now stop the momentum and shift it. Put away your toys, yes. Put them away. You're grown now. And you know, somebody had a problem with me saying that, don't call me childish, you know. And I said, I'm not calling you childish. That's scripture. When I was a child, I spoke as a child and thought as a child. That's science. When I became an adult, my ability to think from a different perspective opened. So I'm saying to you, the things that had you captive as a child don't have to keep you captive as adults. Just acknowledge that was the way that I processed it then. Observe. I give myself permission to process differently now because I have the capacity to process different. I love adulthood. Yes, Lord, I do. Yes. Yes. Use the adult advantage. That's the AA card. Use the adult advantage. The adult advantage allows me to process things from multiple perspectives. Use it. That's right. That's God's word. That ain't mine. That's God. That ain't in the pep talk. I didn't write that. God wrote that. I just repeated what he said. I give myself permission to process differently. Woo! That's powerful. That's powerful. All right, y'all. That's all I got today. I want y'all to have a most amazing day. Check your email because I'm going to send this out. And I will tell you, there is a way on Canva, because I did it the other day, that I can read these in the PDF. You click on the PDF and my voice will come in. So I might do that. I think that's a nice treat. For y'all that follow me, I thank you. And for the subscribers, I thank you. And then you can, decide, get up in the morning, do your pep talk, whatever you want to do. I am going to do that because I know how much it helped me. All right. Enjoy your day. Have fun today. I think somebody in here had a birthday today. Enjoy your birthday. My birthday's coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks. 51. So far, these 50s have been amazing. They've been amazing. If you get to 50, woo, thank you, Lord. Thank you. You're welcome. My pleasure. I'm on assignment, y'all. I'm on assignment. So thank you. Have a great day, everybody. I'll probably be back on live later, but have a great day.